call the meeting in order. Dan, you need to do the pledge. Please be happy. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Secretary, would you like to deal with the minutes?
What was that?
Would you like to make a motion or something on the
Oh,
minutes?
on the minutes? To the people, I never heard back from anyone. Everyone who needed to get them did?
Yes.
Okay, and there were no.
Good job.
Oh, thank you.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
It's moved to second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes approved. Financial report?
The balance as of September was $15,779.83. Deposited $242 from the Fair Booth fundraiser. So the total of our checking account was $16,021.83. We did write a check to Dawn for the retirement gift for Commissioner Lori Johnston at $72.45, which left the balance in the general fund of $15,949.38.
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
Moved
So-
second. All those in discussion?
Yes, please. So we're still not able to get interest. They're still sticking with us
That
being a
we're-
business and not a non.
Due to the fact now, they've said that with rules and the regulations changed, they don't know why last year we were still getting interest. Apparently it was a business account back then. When we signed the cards, I didn't notice if it said a business on there, or I would have objected on that one. But now that we're changing and we have it as a nonprofit, we're still in what they call a corporation. So we have to get that off of the state because they go by what the state is saying. And they're saying that we're a nonprofit organization under the corporate income tax rules.
Okay.
So now, we've gotten to be a nonprofit now, but we still have to get that corporation off of the state paperwork for the bank to be able to consider it. I asked him, I said that today, in fact, I was talking with them and trying to get it because we had that letter from the state that they're still sticking to the guns of it, saying that we're a corporation.
Any other questions? All right, seeing start to vote. All those in favor shall state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Financial report approved. Do we have any guests this evening?
Yeah, I came out 2 months ago, I'm Steve Delisle, and, yeah, I guess I'm a guest again. This is my second time.
If not, this time I'd like to introduce and have a few comments, if she wishes, from our new county commissioner, Don Terrell.
Thank you. I do just want to thank everyone who supported me. I do appreciate it, and I really intend to come through for all the people who have something to say. If there's something you want to just voice your opinion. If you come to me, what I promise to do is to bring it to the other two commissioners. I won't make any deals on the phone with you, but whatever you have to say, I promise to bring it forward and have a discussion about it. And I thank everyone for their support.
Okay, thank you, Don. And Don has agreed to stay on as our secretary, so we won't have to appoint anybody.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big deal.
I'm happy to do it.
Okay, whole business. First off, Nancy and I drove over to St. Regis, and we stopped by the Carrolls, and for the intent to pick up our minutes and the Lincoln Reagan dinner book, and it was the other book that I was talking about, was a fair book. We had a booth at the fair, and we made a copy of that. Well, we met Bobby in the driveway, and he had this in his hand. It's our gavel. And we asked him if he had the minutes books and the fair book and the Lincoln Reagan book. He said, no, he said, I threw them away. And I asked him, why would you do that? And he said, they didn't do me any good. So, we are, and then I asked him for the name tags, and they're the same place. They didn't do him any good either.
Yeah, so pretty much about the same.
There's very little, nothing we can do about it.
Right.
You know,
Start over.
so I guess we gotta keep our minutes from June, and that's what we'll have to do.
Okay.
And on the Lincoln Reagan dinner, I'd like to have you guys set a date to have a meeting,
Yeah, for sure, we need to get together and talk.
because I will go back through my records that I have, and I know I've looked at some of the stuff. I kept some, and some I deleted that didn't mean anything, and they did at the time, and they were in that book. But that book was from 2013, 2012, so it's kind of old, and I took some of my stuff off. But I do have some of the later information, and if we get that committee together, I can explain what we have, show you what I have, and how we move forward.
Well, maybe just you and I can meet one time just to start and go from there.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll talk to you after the meeting, we can get a coffee or something sometime.
Okay. So, well, that's basically what we got for the Lincoln Reagan dinner. And then on the Rules Committee, the same thing there. With the minutes gone, the rules are gone. So any copy of them, they're not.
Question now, weren't some of our meetings videoed?
Pardon?
Weren't some of the meetings videoed before?
No.
That I remember.
Okay, all right. I thought that might be a source, but,
Yeah, but we submitted, rules
yeah.
up to the ones that we worked on here earlier in the year.
Yeah, that was for this, for the bylaws.
Right?
But we had a rule on what we would fund as far as going to meetings and different stuff like that. And we need to put those back in writing, so we have a copy of it. And then there's other things, new rules that we should make as far as the meetings go. Because as I had said earlier, I would like to see, when we get talking about specific things like the Lincoln Reagan dinner and the audience out there, that they're going to be involved in it too. Well, under the so-called bylaws, they can't comment. So I would have to go to a off-the-record type of situation where everybody can comment and then come back on. So we're asking everybody to pitch in. And that, for that reason, I feel everybody should have a voice in it. And so that's what I want the Rules Committee to come up with a set of rules, how we can do this and still be legal with the state. And I think, Mary, you are chairman of the Rules Committee or Bylaws Committee.
Bylaws.
And I made that the Rules Committee. So we will go with that. As far as old business, additional old business, I got a letter today, well, we've got it some other time. Today I received a letter from the state approving our exemption under Montana law 1531-102-1 MCA, which is Montana Code annotated. And they have issued us a nonprofit tax exempt license. And we don't have to do any filing with this part of the thing as far as financial, because they got a criterion here, and it's, you have to meet to file, and we don't meet that, so, or we skirt around it. So we're okay with the state. Now, the only one thing we got left is the Fed, and on the 26th of September, I've finally found the right guy to talk to at the Feds. And so I talked to him, and he told me that I should write a letter explaining what I wanted, along with a copy of, and send it to him along with a copy of our employee identification number that we received back in 2006, I think it was. And we wanted to change from a small business where we were classified then to a nonprofit, 527, which is a political organization. So I sent that to him. It's been over 3 weeks. So I think it was Monday, I was on the phone, and finally got to, first time I called, they told me that they were very busy and call back later, and they hung up on me. So I waited a couple hours and I called back, and I called a different number.
Who is this you're calling? IRS?
IRS. And they told me it'd be a 15-minute wait. I waited an hour and a half to talk to this one lady, and she told me I had to talk to another guy. So I said, okay, so they transferred me. They told me it'd be a 7 to 15-minute wait. That was about an hour and a quarter. Finally got through, and I talked to the same guy I talked to before. And I asked him how would I get his number, so I could, because when you call in, they've got a whole bunch of choices. The phone tree. And the choices are just, so he said, well, you just call in, pick one, get transferred to me, you know. So, and then he's asked when I sent the letter and stuff, and he said, well, we've got 30 days to do it, and we can't do anything until October 28th. And I says, can't you tell me if you okayed it or not? Nope, can't do anything till October 28th. So gotta call them back after October 28th. So it's been fun.
I thought they just hired 80,000 new ones.
You know, these are ones that.
Maybe it's like taking 3 hours in one day on the phone.
Yeah.
Their job isn't to be helpful, but they, that 7,000 new ones.
Did it go the other way? So, that's all I have on that. And Don, can you copy this and give me some copies of this?
Do you want that right now?
No, I don't need it now. I'll give it to you after the meeting.
Okay.
Pick up tomorrow sometime.
Okay.
Because I'm making up a package of all this for the secretary, for the treasurer, for the finance chairman, so he'll know what's going on, and for the chair. So there'll be a packet. If anybody else wants one, the other members, just let me know and I'll take it. I'm off, so everybody gets a copy.
Al, could we arrange to get those two on Friday rather than tomorrow?
Yep.
Okay, Friday's a better day.
Yep. Okay, anybody else have any new business or old business?
When do you want to start collecting door prizes or auction items for the?
Now.
Now, okay.
See, that.
Do we have a collection point?
I don't.
I can do that.
That's
You can do
usually
that?
finance chair gets stuck with.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a whole building at 38 Mullen I can stick stuff in.
Okay, so we can start now. All right, thank you.
And, think about, other things. Just to give you a quick rundown, say we have 100 people at the dinner, and we make $10, $8 to $10 a dinner. That's how we figured it in the past. So we're making between $800 and $1,000 on the dinner. That's our least profitable thing. Next is one up, is table sponsors. This is where somebody donates $200, that's a we thing. They get their name on a little plaque on the table during the meeting. In our brochure, we list them as a table sponsor. Basically, it's a donation to the club. In the past, we've collected anything from $1,400 to about $2,200. So that's our second best moneymaker. And if we get everybody working on this, we can maybe get 20 table sponsors. So we're looking at $4,000, which would be fantastic. And then our third and best fundraising part of it is the silent and live auction. And this usually brings in about $3,000. And one more thing we've been doing in the past, we've had a rifle raffle. That was another thing that we're going, if we're going to have a raffle, we have to get it started pretty soon
Yeah.
with the dinner, so.
Or do you have a place where they got all their tickets printed, and do we still have that availability?
Yeah. The dinner tickets, yeah, they come off my computer.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Because it's not worth spending the money
Right.
for 100 tickets.
And their rifle tickets?
The rifle tickets, yeah, we have been doing it with gadgets.
Okay. Good.
Anything else? Any new business?
It's a quiet night.
Silence is golden.
Everybody vote already? Absentee ballots are out.
Mine's in.
So's mine.
I got mine filled out, but I'm gonna deliver it. I like to
I did this, yeah.
hand deliver it instead of the save and stamp.
That's what it is.
Next time they come down.
Do we need a motion to have new badges made for everybody?
Yep.
I'd make a motion that we make badges for people that don't have badges.
Would you make that for everybody?
Sure.
Because some badges, some people still have badges that have,
They just don't like the.
yeah. And Denley was talking a while back, and he knows a place where they get a magnet on it, it goes on the back. And that sure shapes your shirts.
Sure.
Okay. Been a motion,
Second.
second. All those in favor of looking into purchasing new badges, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Who would be looking into that?
I think I'll have Debbie, or if you wanna,
Yeah, I can look into it.
I think it's the same place we got the badges for the representatives, where they have the big double magnet.
Yeah, I'll talk to Denley.
Right, yeah.
Okay, why don't you talk to them and say,
Are we looking at 4 or?
no, you,
No,
One from
two
precinct
for each.
people.
Yeah.
Precinct,
Two
your
for each
secretary, your
precinct.
finance, everybody.
you're looking at 10 badges for precinct, because you got all the precincts, and you have 2 badges for each precinct. And then you're looking at, what, one
Chair, vice chair,
chair,
treasurer,
right,
finance chair,
finance chair,
state
Committee.
state committee will,
7?
no,
I'll get with you on email or something, we'll figure out the list.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll have something by next meeting.
I think
I have a copy
it
of
was,
that.
what, $171 for the badges.
Oh,
that
sure,
we-
yeah.
That means they're what, 400 now?
No, I thought they were too expensive for those. For what they were.
I was looking online about some of those badges with the magnetic on it.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
And I don't know how they come up with $71.
Setup fees, printing fees, this fee, that fee, landfill fee, climate change fee.
It was a little steep, I thought.
Yeah, we can definitely get some looking around.
Right.
Now, are you gonna have a poll watch?
At the,
For the,
On voting day?
For ballots.
voting day,
Excellent idea. That was what I was gonna bring up. Thank you.
or haven't,
I just saw you now.
There's poll watch training for poll watchers that show up generally.
yeah.
Yes, through Helena. I believe Sanders County was organizing a meeting where they were getting the training for poll watchers.
I've done that training before, but I'm usually an election judge, so I can't
Yeah, that's
do
what I
a
usually am
poll,
as election judge too, but.
so I can't do the
Not
poll
this time.
watching. You know, in all the years I've done it, we've had one poll watcher show up.
Yeah,
I'm more than willing to volunteer. I think this is a very important year to have poll
Good,
watchers.
because I think it keeps the election judges at the tables. You know, there was one you go by precincts. There was one precinct where one of the ladies wasn't asking them to state their name and state their address. And that has to be said loud enough so a poll judge can hear it.
This is an important year for that, I think.
And then when we call off their name, they voted, that's important, you need to. And you can't talk to anybody, you'll have to talk to the main person there on our election. That make notes, and then you turn your notes in.
You're there to observe.
Just
not,
observe and make notes.
Yeah, just
Observe and make notes. And if something needs to be reported, I can't remember who they reported to.
back to the committee chair here was one of them, because it's a committee that sends the poll watchers there. So that's what I was told, it was back to the committee chair, but if there's a complaint, then it has to be brought to the election.
It goes to the head election judge?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And then if it doesn't
Or
go
it
any
goes to the
further,
clerk
then
and
you
recorder's
get a
office.
hold of the
Which is the
election, the
Oh,
fellow,
election judge.
okay, put your complaint in with the secretary of
It
state.
would be the clerk and recorder then. With your notes.
if anybody wants to act as a poll judge, I have no objections. We have precincts throughout the county, so
You'll have to put their names in and alert each poll that there's going to be a poll watcher there, so they'll know when they come in that they're not just somebody off the street causing problems. Make sure you're identified.
I'm willing to volunteer on the west end because I know that we have a precinct up there and voting hours. I'm willing to volunteer if the Republican committee, initiates the legal process.
Did you want to do it in St. Regis, or did you want to do it in Superior?
She
Well,
said the west.
I live on the west end, so I would be more than willing to go on the west end.
You want to do St. Regis?
No, that would,
Who wants to do
she would be the
St.
west end, which is.
DeBorgia.
To Borgia Hagen.
No, I
We
think
have
at the
hours
school.
up at the schoolhouse, yeah, on voting day. But I'm not just gonna show up without the committee doing the proper procedures for it. I can't just show up and say, I'm here to watch. I know that.
Does she have to take the poll thing first?
You know, that I don't know.
I don't know.
I couldn't find anything online for
Contact
it.
the
Clerk
Secretary
and
of State and ask her and see if what she says about that, and she'd give us the best information for poll watchers, so
Secretary of
we don't get
State.
ourselves into any
Yeah.
trouble or stepping on anybody's toes.
Zinke's
Make sure
right.
everybody's protected.
I was thinking if we were, I know the person that showed up and they were a poll watcher.
Right.
They were from St. Regis. And
I mean, I would be
don't know if-
willing
I
to
don't know
do
if
it.
That person took the class, and of course, they can't speak to any of us. They have to just speak to that person at the door, so I was not.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
I was the one who received all the stuff coming in, so I was the first one they,
Yeah.
with the boxes.
We each have our own jobs.
Yeah,
So
That
a
one
poll,
was
a
mine.
poll judge is different than a poll watcher.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
So.
We have training too, an all-day training.
yeah, we
Is
did,
it too
yeah,
late
an
to
all-day training for ours.
Train
yeah.
for this one?
Well,
Yes.
this, I don't know about the poll watcher, like, he'll, maybe Al and Nancy can call the Secretary of State. Yeah, and find out what they say on that,
Okay.
because, things have changed since I've been involved in this, and I'm not gonna
Sure,
step
yeah,
on
we
the
have
line on
not
this.
just one day, so we have to have a poll watcher for how long?
We don't know.
Oh, you can sit there for an hour, you can sit there as long as you want.
Yeah, as long as you want.
Or,
Oh,
You can
well,
sit there during the whole election period time.
So we don't have times where somebody else is coming in?
No, you can set up a schedule like that, yeah, yes, imagine, but, normally, a person goes down and checks and makes sure everything's going good.
In about an
If
hour,
they
I
feel
think they
comfortable
figure
enough,
out,
things
you
are
know,
going good, it's,
Yeah, I think we're only open 3 hours on the
yeah,
west
3
end.
hours, yeah, well, then that'd be a quick one for you, yeah.
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 And then Kat, you said you wanted to also?
Sure, I don't care which one I go to. Whoever doesn't wanna do one of them, I'll go there.
So do we need them at post office?
I have a
Only if
friend
they're
that
putting
wanted to do
boxes
it too,
outside.
that
Oh,
lives
there
right
you
next to us, Michelle Ford.
We don't have any of that.
How will you find that out? Will you send out a quick? We don't have.
Yeah, I will,
Email.
make a call in the morning
The Dropbox.
and send out a quick email on what said. I've never appointed
Technically,
a
ours
court poll watcher. It's-
Yeah,
I mean, this is new to me too.
we had that, oh, geez, many, many years back, that, when we first started
Yeah.
There's a
this,
difference
we had
between
poll
us
watchers
and
out. As a matter of fact, they were coming in from, Plains. If you remember, one of them was
Yep.
Mark French.
Yep.
They came in and,
Yeah.
that didn't work out so well for us, but.
What happened? What happened there with him? He was a poll watcher over at the, where they counted the votes.
Oh, at the
oh, did you have poll watchers at the courthouse when the votes are being
And
counted?
he just.
Yeah, they did have, they did. I don't know if
Wherever Mark
what has
goes.
changed or not. I haven't studied the law, Nancy. Since I got out of legislature, I just kind of, I went from there to poll judge. And,
Well, the last election, one of the, and I don't know if it was the governor's race, had someone come in and sit
yes,
most of the time. But I don't know, I don't know if anybody can just walk in that, I don't
It's
know.
anybody can walk in.
Well,
For mine,
Kellyanne tells you that you can't interact, you have to just
Right.
Well, the
observe.
rules are, yes, but
Yes.
if you're gonna be a poll watcher, I'm trying to remember when I took my class. You go in and you talk to the head person in there and tell them, you are a poll watcher and you like to watch. And they'll give you a chair where you can hear, and that you can sit there and listen and make notes on everything. If you see something done wrong, add that note.
Yeah.
But then, as I say, from there, I can't remember what you do with your notes.
Yeah, they don't.
But I should think it would go to the clerk, which is our election judge.
Right.
I think it would be better more than one person or like just, who knows what would happen to it.
Oh, there's something else.
I will make a call tomorrow morning, find out, and send out an email
Just
on what. Is everybody at once sure that we've got your emails?
You got mine.
yeah, Dawn's got my email. I think you have my phone number too.
No,
Okay.
Person I'm speaking of
Did
process.
they put it on the sign-in sheet?
Not this week.
Oh, Catherine, you have them.
I don't think I have Kat's.
You should, but I'm
Cat
not
Thompson?
going to give it to you.
Do I have it from the commissioner's email list or for
Either both of
here?
them, probably.
Well, I would like it for here, so that,
And it's quicker.
yeah,
It's often, right?
then I don't have to, yeah.
Fill it out.
Where's that damn thing? I'm not writing.
She's bringing it.
Bringing it to you.
It's coming back to you. Misinformation, I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay.
Come back to order. I've signed this how many times, and I usually put my.
Also, Dan,
Today I didn't.
a couple months ago, I asked Dawn for a list of the precinct, and she made up a really nice list. I'll make a copy for you.
Oh, awesome.
So that you'll have everyone's
Yeah, appreciate that.
information.
Thank you. I don't know. I'm
I
gonna
think you have compliment on that list.
Perfect. I mean, all the emails, everything that I needed to do for the state.
I think would be interesting for you to sit there and watch.
I went online and looked for any online classes about it, and I didn't find any in Montana, so.
You have to take it in Zoom.
I'm Googling up poll watcher rules, and the only rules that they can code that I see is allow each political party to allow one poll watcher at the place where they count. One person up there. And it also says, if one party doesn't send anybody, it doesn't. One from each party is allowed out of the place of counting. It doesn't say anything about going to each precinct, just sitting there watching people vote.
Because I thought before you could, be outside, but you couldn't actually go in and hang within the polling place. Used to be, and I don't know if that's
It
changed.
still is, I'm sure
There's, it's called electioneering, there's no electioneering allowed.
Right.
The poll is for the vote. Period.
Yeah. But like I said,
The only thing I'm reading about poll watching is you have one when they're counting.
Yeah, Mom said they used to have them, and she was.
Right. Each party's allowed one. So that would be at Kellyanne's office on the night.
Nancy,
I can't remember.
Nancy
Gordon
made a
was there.
motion. No, oh, but I wasn't sure if it was first or Dan was second. I didn't.
But
Okay, yep,
a candidate cannot be.
but I didn't see any.
That's what I just said. He just looked it up.
that's what Mark French
Count
was.
here in.
He was,
Nancy, do you know who seconded?
he was a Republican poll watcher, trying to be.
I didn't hear.
One from each party is what it said.
Dan, did you,
Just the
second the
rules.
finance
It's
report?
one from each party is allowed to watch.
Sure.
Count. Party.
I thought you did, but I wasn't
I'm not 100% sure, but you know what, I'll say I did.
I'm trying to get to.
I know.
I thought that was one I just couldn't hear.
Yeah,
that was.
got it. So I got turned poor Dan.
And see, I picked it on you.
Party, it's gonna be there to watch.
She raised a question about the interest.
No.
Mary did raise.
Well, I guess it does say you can go to the precinct.
No,
He was
definitely can.
thinking about the precinct because that's where,
Election judges shall permit one poll watcher from each party.
not checking IDs.
Be stationed close to the poll list.
Who says yes, you can with the
In
precinct?
a location that does not interfere with the election procedure. At the
So
time,
we'll
each
shut up and talk to
elector
anybody can.
signs the elector's name, one of the
I knew that
judges, like you said, shall pronounce the name loud enough to be heard by poll watcher. If they don't say it loud enough, the poll watcher can say, what was that again?
But then if there's something that they're not doing correct, they can't.
Poll watchers
can't
must
correct it
also
right then,
be
they can
permitted
just
to
have their
observe all of the vote counting.
I don't know.
I thought it was just watching, strictly
Yes, it
watching
is
and not.
strictly watching when I took my class. But
That's what I
this is
remember
probably
from
the
class.
most recent, maybe they've
It's
changed.
2021.
Yeah, cause it's been, cause I
Okay,
haven't
go
done.
Put up a red
and-
flag and say, ow.
Yeah. Cause I haven't been part of that as long as I've been treasurer, then I couldn't be,
Yeah.
part of the election process anymore.
Nancy, you had commented earlier that someone observed a precinct person or whoever was doing the polls not asking name and address. We gave an example of that.
Right.
And so everyone had remained silent and watched the mistake continue out through the night?
No, she'd been talked to by that precinct captain, or of the polls,
Okay,
and told,
but not a poll watcher and not a poll judge.
no,
Okay. Just so somebody was there to know to correct the mistake.
yes. But it persisted once in a while. And that person was not an election judge.
Okay, let's move on to new business.
I think I have an old business.
Pardon?
I think I have an old business. Last time I was here last month, we talked about voter registration.
Yes.
What has happened with that? I've seen nothing as far as,
Well, we had another
Putting-
meeting and somebody brought a bunch of cards. I registered 7 voters, 5 in Mineral County and 2 in Missoula County.
Good for you.
And they're all Republican voters.
well, we have a dinner coming up tomorrow night up in DeBorgia. That may be another opportunity to bring some more of these cards, just for because we got a lot of new people up there in the West End.
Yeah, who had them? Did you have them, Elaine?
You can get them at the, I gave you all the lines.
I have some on
I
card.
think I still have some of the trucks.
Dennis has some.
Some in our car. You can
So
bring
you get
in.
them from Callahan too.
I can get
Thank you.
some.
When is the cutoff date?
Day before the election.
They have, there's a cutoff date where you could register.
Oh,
I don't know that there will be that many, but I
Yeah,
do
that
know
might
that
be
it's an
the-
opportunity for many of the new members of the
That might be
community
the-
to come out when they have their spaghetti feed, which is tomorrow night.
Was that
So
what
you
was the-
personally have to bring it in now.
Yeah.
I couldn't bring it in for them now.
I'm
Is
so
that what you're
confused, the
saying?
one in Superior and the one in Borgia, I thought they were the same
yeah, I
night.
think it was right before the,
No, we're having two
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Just got confused.
Having
She can get them
a,
a card.
we're having a one Friday.
right,
Yeah.
just hand
I
them
mean,
the
I said,
cards.
oh, I don't know what.
Okay,
You
Yeah, we
cannot-
do that conversation.
yeah,
We can't collect them anymore.
That's all I did.
that's fine,
sat
but I
there
think
and
having them
watched
available up there would be
fill it
great, because we have a lot of new community members.
And hopefully they'll come turn them in.
You cannot pick them up and bring them in, because there is a cutoff date, and I'm sure they were right on October 11th. Because
Maybe it's
that's,
14th. It was right before the.
no, you can still, they can still register to vote,
By coming down here to the courthouse, correct?
or you can give them a
Not on the
card,
committee.
They can fill it
let
out.
them fill it
As
out,
chairman of the committee.
kind of watch and make sure they do it right, and then tell them they have to bring it to the courthouse. That's just like an absentee ballot. they fill it out, they've gotta bring it.
Yeah, because they have to prove ID.
Right.
The last Saturday in April.
Yeah.
That'll be
April
this
29th usually.
Last Saturday. Thank you.
Where's it gonna be? You don't know yet?
I'm still in the dark on a lot of this. I'm gonna meet with him soon, we're gonna start working on it.
Chairman?
Last few years it's been at St. Regis, but we had it in multi-purpose room in Superior, so we had it
Yeah,
different.
we have a few options.
Got it down at Sully's one year.
Oh, that was the
We did a
first
few.
one.
Yeah.
Just a few,
That was the first one. Sylvia did that one.
Yeah, Sylvia, it was a pretty good one.
River's Edge a couple of years.
was.
Yeah, we were at the Sullivan's about 3 times. It's smallest venue.
I don't know how many, people were at the Monroe County Shooting Association.
Around 100.
About 100?
I think so, I was there, I was guessing about 100.
So did I, and that was a pretty good venue.
I was actually,
really
in the back of
surprised.
my mind, I was wondering about that, that's a possibility,
Out
that
there,
worked out well.
Yeah,
With the sports
it was, yeah, it was quite
What
nice.
does,
I haven't been in it yet myself.
Very
runs
nice
next
building.
year?
If we can help
Who
promote,
runs what?
you know.
Who's up for election next year?
On what?
In the general election, what goes on next
He should
year?
have been on roll.
How far up you wanna go?
No, if it had those tables or.
2023.
Yeah, 2023, there's no.
I don't know when I was there for Phil Donnelly's service, they had round tables, and the whole place was filled with tables and chairs.
Yeah,
That's
that's,
the same as when maybe they own them.
Down
and they had like a little stage area.
Yeah, there was a stage area where the MC was, the auctioneer was.
And then all the other smaller tables.
Wow.
for the
Election shot all around the edges, and they had the food outside.
Yeah.
No, it worked out real well.
So she's first round for election. As Connie. You're up for election November 23, right?
Yes.
If you,
Wait, no, yeah, hold on a minute, yeah, 24, yeah. 24.
2 years, maybe 2 each.
okay,
They're
that's right.
staggered every 2 years.
You're elected
Yes.
in the even year, take office in the odd year.
Yep, that would be right, I guess.
Okay, so it'd be 24, yeah. Don is
Trying to figure out who's up for election next year.
There's nobody up.
Shouldn't be.
Next year, no one.
No one.
This
I
year
was
it's
trying to
Roman.
think, the only one that's different
state
than the rest of
offices.
us is clerk of district court, but I think she's 2 years and not 1 year. I don't think that's next year, I think.
They're thinking about guest speakers.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Who's gonna be wanting? Because in a general election, I mean, like 2024, there'll be governors, there'll be
Yeah.
senators, all these guys.
Right.
But we'll get them. I mean, Ray would still come. He might still come.
Yeah.
We get the,
Yeah.
they always come for us. For Lincoln Reagan dinners, they do.
If you own them. Okay, anything else on election?
Business.
New business, speaking of elections, we have county precinct, or committee elections. In November, December, January, when,
Oh, that's right.
President, vice president.
yeah. Yeah, all the officers of, because this is the odd, or the even year, it's in our bylaws. But we have to decide which month you want to do them. Do you want elections in December, which we don't have a meeting usually, we'll put them off to January. I think we still qualify in January to have them, but they've changed it. I've got to look at the bylaws again and find out exactly when we have to do it, because you have to do it so long before something or other. They got a whole schedule what you have to meet. So, thinking about, if you wanna run for office, now this is open to anybody. Anybody out in the audience, you could run for a office. The only difference is, if you're run for an office and you're elected, you cannot, still not vote. The only voting members are precinct people. And these are the ones elected by the general public. And they're the only voting members. You can have a say-so, you can make all the discussion, you can make your opinion known and everything else. But when it comes down to voting, on the final vote, it's precinct people only that vote. So that's what you've got to remember. Okay, and the other new item that I have in mind, goes back to December. Are anybody interested in a Christmas get-together of any kind, or just want to take the month off? We've had Christmas parties, we've not had them, they've worked either way. The ones we've had have been kind of a potluck, so.
We used to have them over Bob Mahan's and Judy's, and then we had them at Sylvia's.
Yep,
Yeah.
have over at the senior center.
Yeah.
I think we had one in here too.
Yeah.
And we had a celebration of the election party in here,
Yes, we did, that was a good one.
so that's another thing.
That's when you were elected.
Instead of a Christmas party, an after-election party.
Pardon?
Instead of a Christmas party, an after-election party.
That we've done before. We've had the election and had a Christmas party afterwards, or,
Or kind of mix them both up together.
right.
It'd be like an early Christmas party.
You just won, so you could throw a party on the hostess.
And I could do that live?
Because you don't have enough to do it.
Oh, that's fun.
And your spare time.
Yeah, I do like the idea though of a get-together. I do like that.
I think an election.
No.
Would anybody like to,
Let's do a vote if they want a Christmas party,
all
and
right,
then if they want a potluck, which we should do.
all
Well, I
right.
think first, maybe, was anybody willing to put it together?
That was my question.
I'll
Anybody,
try.
anybody want to be chair?
Because nobody wants to put the effort
I
into
was
putting
gonna
it
say,
together.
that settles
Yeah.
Well, maybe do this in like late November, so like election and Christmas in the between the two of them. Thanksgiving.
We usually, on the Christmas party, we usually had it early December.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody wants to have office parties late December.
Right. So,
I'll be off my feet again by then, so help me out.
so it would be before the 10th of December, basically.
Doesn't seem like there's much enthusiasm for it. Does anybody feel strongly about having a party?
I do. I think that's a very nice idea.
That's a good idea.
I think an election party
Well, I'll go
sounds
back to
great,
work.
because I think we're gonna have a nice red celebration this year.
We got an announcement.
Ooh.
Christmas party to me is family time.
For me, it's just a celebratory time, so I love that
The
idea,
whole time, yeah,
but does it make any difference to me?
that's just my personal.
Yeah, I can go along with either of those.
Dawn, do you want to make a motion since you're throw party?
Well, did we decide that somebody does want to chair that? I mean, because don't we need to know that first?
Well,
I liked Gloria's idea of an election party, to celebrate all the Republicans being elected in November, and why don't,
It's good to have some.
why don't we do a potluck for our
Yeah.
meeting in November?
combination meeting celebration,
And an election party.
and just maybe start a little earlier. when is our meeting in November?
It looks like the
14th?
16th.
16th is a Wednesday,
Yeah, that's third Wednesday.
and the other one would be Thanksgiving Eve on the 23rd. We don't
Yeah,
want that.
16.
Okay, I make a motion that November 16th, we meet earlier than normal, 5:30, have a potluck celebration dinner and meeting all in one.
Jericho,
I like that.
Jericho March.
I'll second.
Nope.
We're in opposite.
Okay, it's been moved and second that we have a potluck on November 16th at 5:30.
5:30, yeah, an hour early.
It gives
Yeah.
us time to get home.
Good change, but
At 5:30, we'll have our regular meeting afterwards, or
During.
Or first, have a meeting first, and then adjourn, and then
Yeah, okay.
Will the food still
Then
be
you
hot?
have to change because we have a meeting.
Quickest meeting we've ever had.
There's not gonna be alcohol, right, so we don't have to worry about, we can have a meeting after.
however,
Or during this.
5:30 meeting slash potluck.
We don't have any new business. And that way, at least,
We won't have to,
we can just do the election officers.
we don't have to do the elections in December. We can do it in January, but I think January is the end.
You'll have to read that, and I can't remember
Because
quite
there's
how
a
it went.
set time that we have to.
Something. No, it's got a lifetime resolution.
I'll find out for sure. All right. Any other new business?
What, do we need to vote on the
Motion and
motion?
a second.
It's been seconded, now we need to vote.
Oh, yes, yes. Okay, there's been motion on the floor to have a potluck dinner meeting on November 16th. All those in favor, so say by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now we need,
And we can talk through email about who's bringing what or whatever.
yep, just talk it out,
I'll bring plates.
okay?
Or we can just send a list through email, you can write your name down and what you're bringing on it. and
there you
forward
go.
It doesn't really matter, it always turns out really well. We
It
have a
does.
nice variety, it doesn't matter if it's a dessert or a salad or potatoes or.
Yeah, just go with desserts.
There you go.
Just maybe make the theme red foods. Red Jello, or red potatoes, or rare steak, or.
We have plates, we have silverware. Oh, no, yeah, we have plates, then we have
Yeah, we
silverware.
we have plates, we have silverware.
Denny's, I thought the Denny's.
Wow, I get what they mean. Bring it. Glasses are good. I may need some coffee cups. A lot of the stuff we have, we just gotta get it
Get it
together.
together, organize it.
Yeah, bins.
Why it wasn't thrown away, I don't know.
Right.
Thank God not Bobby Carroll.
When I talked to her, and she's like, well, when I was sick, then people came in and cleaned stuff up and threw it away. I'm like, because we didn't need it. I'm like, yeah, but.
Okay. Any announcements?
Oh, I have an announcement, so I'll be out December, January, February. Won't be able to come to any meetings, probably. So I'm gonna, I already talked to Al Dunlap, Shelley's husband, and he'll be a proxy, so I'll bring it also, get a letter of proxy for Al. And he promised he'd come to meetings, pay attention.
Okay.
How much does that cost you?
Well, likewise. both Dennis and I are having surgery, him on the 8th, mine on the 11th of November. I doubt any chance that either of us will be able to be here, for November's meeting. I can probably, Dennis will be back 8 weeks non-weight bearing, so I doubt, I mean, maybe he'll, I don't know. And then January and February, we're already planning on, going somewhere warm. As soon as I retire to work. But, I don't know how long it's gonna be now since this surgery. The one he had in January on his ankle, one of the 3 plates didn't work, so they have to go back in and take that plate out, put a new plate in and start all over again. So super excited.
Right. Half the time for, like,
We'll see.
that is still 2 weeks or 2 months is better than 4.
That will likewise get,
Yeah.
get prices.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I already have some.
Yep, yep.
Okay, would you guys make sure you get a proxy in there?
Yep, yep.
You got Court Factor 1. Find another one, please.
You need to have a woman proxy if you.
It says either.
As long as they're human. Our proxy doesn't make any difference.
So you're gonna be gone January and February?
Any other announcements?
I guess I have an announcement too, but, I have all kinds of questions and I don't know who to ask. Some political questions about what's going on in Montana. Where are we legislatively on like CRT and, do we have anything on these? I'm just curious about a lot of stuff and I don't know who to ask. So, any suggestions?
Well, first off, it would have been real good if you talked with our state legislator. And he's probably got the input and all the information you might need. I might be able to help you out on some of it. But it's been a few years since I've been in office, so I might be able to help you out a little bit there. And we have our state senator out in Thompson Falls that you might get over there too. We can get you numbers, facts, and figures for you. You bet. That's what we're here for.
Ditto. You asked the question I was gonna. I did have a question for this committee specifically. You guys are a nonprofit, and I know that you're Republican, obviously, but I think I see a lot of issues finding people that want to run for offices and take some of these committees on and some of these county positions. And I'm wondering if the Mineral County Republican Central Committee would entertain possibly bringing the Center for Self-Governance up to teach, which is not necessarily Republican, but it is more conservative as far as, well, it's our Constitution. And the Centers for Self-Governance works from the bottom up. They teach you about how to interact in your local politics, how to get involved in your local politics. They help you learn how to speak with your local politics. I think this community can really use some education, some knowledge, some more knowledge, especially in our younger kids.
Constitution class, we were having them for a while there. I don't know if it's gone by the wayside, but we always advertise for the fact that anybody that is interested in running for any office, we would appreciate if they would take, the Constitution classes. And that way, when they go before the legislature, they know what they're talking about there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like taking a drink from a 3-inch fire hose and the information comes fast and furious on their first day.
It is. The Center for Self-Governance charges students that participate. I do not believe that there's any cost to the committee other than to sponsor them wanting to come and making sure that you advertise so that you get those people. Another speaker that will come for free if you book her far enough in advance is Chris Ann Hall. And Chris Ann Hall is good. She doesn't give you opinions, she doesn't give you political views. She teaches the Constitution and the Founding Fathers, period. It's less, I think she's more than the Center for Self-Governance, but the Center for Self-Governance is a program that teaches people how to interact at these different levels and about these different positions. So I'm asking the Republican Central Committee to be maybe a little more community oomph, because we've got a lot of young people in this community. Where else are they going to get their education? We can't rely on just the high school, and we can't rely on the next door neighbor.
Yeah.
So
What happens when we're all gone? Then what?
exactly, a lot of these people on this committee are older, and we want to bring up good young Republicans.
Would you forward some information
I sure
to me
can.
about this?
I can.
We can help facilitate a little bit, you know.
I'm
interested.
very leery of people coming forward with ideas that what we went through before was the idea that was going to become forward, and this was good, and we know nothing about it, and it was a bad experience for us.
Well, the Center for Self-Governance has its
I'm
own
not-
website that you can check out.
I do that. All I'm saying is, I would like a little information, so I can do a little research. So when I come in before the committee, and if I recommend one way or the other, I'd like to know more about what I'm talking about.
There's many opportunities. I will send you a list of several of them that are available.
I'd appreciate that,
Yes.
so I would know what I'm talking about.
Um,
You know, and I will look it up, pro and con.
I appreciate that. I think our community needs education, opportunities.
Okay, so if you would send it to me.
I will.
Okay. Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Hey, I have one more thing. I have a small group that's getting together on Mondays at my house at 11 o'clock on Mondays to pray for our nation and maybe look into what the Bible says about what we should be doing. Because I think we should be more engaged as Christians.
Yes?
If anybody's interested, I'd welcome more.
Where,
Okay.
I live about 3 miles out of town.
what's your address, and that's open to all? Is that open to all? What's your address? Is that open to me, to?
Well, I don't have a huge house, but I can put up some tables or chairs or something, some more chairs. I have about up to 8 people coming.
And your name, because I'm not going to turn the camera on your face, but your name?
Julie Reddick.
Hi, Julie.
I live on South Side Road, about 3 miles out.
I'm very interested. Do we
Okay.
need a contact?
Any other-
Contact?
Okay. Do I hear a motion for
Motion to adjourn.
adjournment?
Second.
He moved, he seconded.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Do we adjourn? All those in favor, still say by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?